Do you dare to blink? Open on a Victorian doll sitting on a shelf. Its eyes follow the camera. SFX, child giggling, plus slow creaking. Shotless, close-up of the doll's glass eyes reflecting a girl. Lena 12, Lena's POV, doll's head twitches when she looks away. Fast flashes, doll in different rooms at night. Lena's reflection not matching her movements. Then a close-up of the doll smiling with human teeth. Text, don't blink, or it moves. The doll's eyes, based on a true story. Act 1. The Cursed Doll. We open on a close-up of a porcelain doll's lifeless eyes. The camera slowly pans up to reveal a young girl named Lena gazing lovingly at the doll. They are in an antique shop filled with dusty relics, and Lena is mesmerized by this one particular doll. She asks the shopkeeper, a creepy old woman, how much it is. The woman looks at the doll with a sorrowful expression and replies, "That one, it's free." Startled by the sudden movement of the doll's head, Lena screams and hides behind her mother. When she looks back at the doll, it's as if nothing had happened. The woman warns her, that doll, it belonged to a girl who one day disappeared and was never seen again. Despite the ominous warning, Lena insists on taking the doll home. Her mother reluctantly agrees, and they leave the store. Cut to Lena's bedroom. The room is dark, lit only by the moonlight streaming through the window. The doll sits on the shelf, watching Lena as she undresses for bed. Lena's mother enters the room and tells her to put the doll away across the room. Lena argues that she's too scared to do that, and her mother eventually gives in. She tucks Lena in and leaves. As soon as the door closes, the doll on the shelf begins to move. It slowly turns its head towards the bed, and its eyes glow an eerie red in the darkness. Lena, still awake, watches in terror as the doll slides off the shelf and onto the floor. It then begins to crawl towards her bed. Lena screams and pulls the covers over her head as the doll approaches. The next morning, Lena wakes up to the sound of her mother calling her name. She opens the covers and sits up. The doll is inches from her face, staring at her with its glowing red eyes. Lena screams again and throws the doll to the ground. Her mother rushes in, sees the doll, and tells Lena to get rid of it. Lena, still shaking from the previous night's events, throws the doll in the closet and slams the door. Later that day, Lena's mother comes across a hidden box in the antique store. Inside is an old photo album. She takes it home and shows Lena the pictures. They're of a young girl and her friends laughing and playing. The mother points out that the girl in the photos looks exactly like Lena. On the last page, there's a handwritten note that reads, "To my dearest friends, I'm so glad we had so much fun today. I can't wait for tomorrow. Love, Anna." The mother and daughter are deeply affected by the discovery. That night, Lena lays in her bed crying. She begs the doll to stop, claiming that she doesn't want to be like Anna. Suddenly, the lights flicker and the closet door opens. The mother, holding a lighter, cautiously approaches the closet. Inside, they find the doll sitting on the shelf. It has a bloodied meat cleaver in its hands. Lena screams and runs as the mother confronts the doll. It lunges at her, but she dodges just in time. As the mother runs away, the doll's eyes flash red. She hides under the bed and the doll crawls closer. Its cold, dead eyes staring directly into the camera. The mother emerges from under the bed holding a silver cross. She strikes the doll with it, releasing a burst of light. The doll's eyes flash red one last time before shattering. The mother cradles Lena as she cries. They huddle together on the bed, relieved that the nightmare is finally over. But as the first rays of sunlight peek through the curtains, the shattered pieces of the doll's eyes begin to glow red once again. The end. Here's a quick update on my channel. The like button now makes it bleed when you highlight it. And when you highlight subscribe, The letters crawl like insects. Also, if you comment, I might actually respond to you. Act 2. The reflection game fade in Scene 1. Mirror scene. Lena's face is pale and drawn. Her eyes are wide with fear. She backs away from the mirror slowly, but her reflection doesn't move. It just keeps smiling at her. That's when the distorted sound of a nursery rhyme begins to play. It's Ring Around the Rosie, and it's being played backwards. The music builds and Lena screams. But the louder she screams, the more her reflection smiles. Then the music stops abruptly, and Lena, exhausted, collapses onto her bed. She looks one last time at the mirror. Her reflection winks at her. SFX distorted nursery rhyme, Ring Around the Rosie played backward. The doll is on top of the bed now, crawling towards Lena like a spider. Its eyes are wide open and staring directly at her. Whisper, "Let's trade places, pretty girl." The doll continues to stare at her, and Lena's eyes begin to roll back in her head. She tries to scream, but no sound comes out. She's paralyzed with fear as the doll crawls closer and closer. Then it reaches out a hand towards her face. SFX distorted whispering voice, "Let's trade places, pretty girl." Now we hear the sound of heavy breathing, the pounding of a heart, and then silence. The camera pans down to Lena's hand, which is reaching out towards the mirror. But it's too late. Her reflection is gone. All that's left is the distorted, whispering voice. SFX, heavy breathing, pounding heart, silence, voice. "Let's trade places, pretty girl." The camera moves towards the mirror, and we see that the reflection has returned. It's wearing Lena's clothes, and it's smiling at us. Then it winks and disappears. Fade out. This is the final scene of a horror movie. It's been a week since 17-year-old Lena disappeared. Her mom is starting to lose hope of ever finding her daughter alive. She walks into Lena's room one last time before the house gets demolished. And what she sees makes the blood in her veins run cold. On Lena's bed is an antique doll, dressed in one of Lena's favorite dresses. The same dress she was wearing the last time her mother saw her. But that's not what makes this doll creepy. The doll's eyes are a glowing red color, and it seems almost as if it's staring directly at her. As Lena's mom gets closer to the doll, she notices something even more disturbing. The doll's mouth is slightly open, as if it's trying to say something. And when the light hits its eyes just right, she can see a faint outline of Lena's face behind the glassy surface. Just then, the doll begins to move. At first, it's just its eyes, rolling back and forth, left to right. Then its head starts to turn, and before Lena's mom can scream, the doll's eyes lock onto hers, and it opens its mouth. But instead of hearing a creepy voice or even seeing Lena's lips move, all she sees is Lena's terrified face frozen in a silent scream behind the doll's glassy eyes. The doll's eyes narrow into slits. It tilts its head to the side and in a low whisper, it says, "I'm the favorite now." The mom screams and falls to her knees. The doll's face remains frozen in a sinister grin as its eyes slowly close. We pan away as the mom continues to scream in the background. And now for the twist ending. As we get a close-up of the doll's winking eye, we realize that the one who's trapped inside is not Lena, but rather the doll itself. The real Lena is seen briefly behind the glass eye, still trapped inside the doll and now frozen in a silent scream. The doll's grinning face fades away, revealing Lena's terrified expression. With wide eyes and an open mouth, she seems to be screaming for help, but no sound comes out. Her fingers reach out as if she asks, trying to grab the person staring at her through the dolls. And as the screen fades to black, we hear the faint whisper of Lena's voice saying, "I'm the favorite now." One last shot, the doll's head turns towards the camera and it winks. Here's a quick update on my channel. The like button now makes it bleed when you highlight it. And when you highlight subscribe, the letters crawl like insects. Also, If you comment, I might actually respond to you.